Calling this meeting to order, election subcommittee of the Berlin-Boylston Regional School Committee, November 3rd, 9:08, Wednesday. And Adam is just signing on.
Can you hear me?
I just want to check with you, Adam, whenever you're ready.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, that's the wrong view, though, but I'm here.
Okay. I didn't know if you had done any. I didn't know if you'd done anything.
There we go.
I didn't know if you'd done anything with the FAQ document that was in the PowerPoint slide that you had started it in. So I just copied those into a Google Doc so that we could kind of go more freeform. But I didn't know if you had already done something like that, Adam.
The only thing I had done was add a comment from what I think it was Megan had asked at the meeting, and I did that during the meeting there. If you're looking at the right, version of it, then it has an FAQ where I note that it was from Megan's question during the meeting.
Okay.
Because I know when I moved it over to the right folder.
Can you see this okay?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
That's what I got.
And okay. All right. So so our agenda today is to work on this document. And I was thinking this is such an important document because there are some facts, and in addition to just information, but just some very specific facts about how this election business works, taking out papers and stuff that we have to get straight because it's so easy to get the information wrong. So I feel like your comment about having a document to point people to is going to be very important. And then the other item we had on the agenda today was to work out some of the core engagement strategies and the committee authorities we want to propose to the school committee to give approval for. So those are the two core tasks, and we had said we'd go up just in front of 10:30. Mike has to hop off at 10 before, just in front of 10:30, to see if we could work on those two tasks. Does that sound right? Anything else that should be addressed?
My only other thought would be just to be efficient, whether we might want to kind of just, if we're all in the document and in the meeting here, each take some, maybe we each take a couple of them and just take a first pass at writing something for them and then see what we each come up with.
Yeah, I think that could be a useful way to approach this, and like to hear what you think about that, Mike. So what we would do is maybe generate some more, if there are any other questions we're going to put on this list, maybe generate those together. But in terms of getting the answers drafted, each take a certain set of them and just draft in the moment, and then stop and go through them together and see if we can clarify anything. Or
you know what I'll do here, Susan? I'm gonna number them rather than bullet them.
I was thinking that,
so that we can refer to them that way.
Yeah.
There we go. Megan's question during the meeting was one when I then jumped over to the FAQs, was surprised we hadn't thought of. So I think that's probably going to happen somewhat regularly for us as people ask questions. Oh yeah, that's a question obviously we need to have an answer to, but we hadn't self-generated that one about the details of where and when and how do I collect signatures.
Yeah. Where is that? So did you just number these, Adam? Because I don't see it.
I did, yep.
I refreshed it. It's not showing up. Yeah, it's not showing.
Is there multiple copies of this floating around somewhere? Are you in the
what you're looking at, Susan, is not the document. I'm in the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. All right. So I copied that into this document so we could throw it more easily. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah. Do you want to
I'm gonna number these then. Yeah.
Do you want to see that one. Where is that document?
It's in today's meeting folder.
Okay, let me grab that one.
So Mike, you have it open in front of you too, live? Okay, all right. Oh yeah, I can see you clicking on here. Okay, so so let's see, where is Megan's question? Just want to make sure I see where that is.
Number 9.
Hang on, this looks like this is separate, right? Which one do you have it? Number, no.
9.
Where is-
Yeah. No, 8 now because that, yeah, 8.
How, when, and where do I collect signatures? Okay, yeah, good. Yep. Okay, all right, now, one thing we may want to do is just in between meetings, between this meeting and the next, is take this out and, test it on some people and say, what other questions, because we're going to be blindsided, I think. I think we should chat with some people and see what questions they ask.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, as we scan this, if there's, let's just think for a minute, if there's something missing. It feels like a short list. It feels like there, when I was looking into this originally, I had lots more questions, but they were specific to, the roles of the town clerks and the district clerk. So they're probably not pertinent to this. I'm just gonna scan the details in the election timeline to see if there's something here that would trigger a question.
I think the biggest point of confusion for folks is going to come around the regionalization, the changes that have happened because of regionalization, whether it's who votes, who runs, what seats are open. That to me has felt like the most confusing part of it. Even Megan's question about the nomination papers, right? I stated it incorrectly during the meeting, but you had it correct, Susan, in that, if you collect signatures from Boylston and want them certified, you bring them to the Boylston town clerk. If you collect them from Berlin and want them certified, you bring them there. I mean, so if a candidate wanted to collect signatures from both towns, they should probably be collecting them on separate signature pages and then giving them to
Yes,
both.
that's exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
Is if they have mixed signatures on one, from both towns on one nomination paper, and you're taking them to Berlin, the Berlin town clerk has to disallow all the Boylston signatures.
Right.
So you may
I wonder
get
if
30, but only 10 will count.
if I think of this as a potential candidate, I could see myself collecting signatures from Boylston and doing that as a campaign strategy, let's say, right, to get known and let people know you're running.
Right.
Collecting signatures from Berlin, it might not even bother submitting both of them because I only need one certification to be
That's
certified.
true. Yeah, that's true. That's another way to approach it, right? I did send a note to the folks at Mount Greylock to just ask them how many, in their experience, do people typically collect signatures in both towns, or that they just, most of them collect from one town? I'm just kind of curious what the strategy has been there, or the occurrence of that.
Yeah, I think it's fine if we think of those things, but I think you want to be really careful about giving any information that could be taken as campaign advice.
Yeah.
And we're the school committee. We're holding the election. That's all we're doing. Telling people how to do it. The logistics of it is one thing. Suggesting what they do to actually run a campaign or whatever, we should stay away from that, lest we be, accused of trying to steer people the wrong way or whatever.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I wanted to know though what their experience was, because they may say, like nobody does it that way. And so we may want to just in a
Yes.
forum, public forum, when people are asking about that, we may share that, but I don't know what their experience is, so.
Remind me the number of signatures you need to be on the ballot.
Well, that's actually not confirmed until you hear from
Okay.
the state election people.
So let
The,
me,
both the town clerks use the number, I think, 25. And what I put on the election timeline was 25, but it will be confirmed by the state.
so here's a question then. Let's say I have one page of signatures that's commingled, Berlin and Boylston signatures.
You're
And I've
gonna
got-
lose one of those towns' signatures.
It's not like the Berlin town clerk's gonna then send it to the Boylston town clerk.
Right. They don't do
Okay.
that.
So if you collect in both towns, you have to collect them on separate signature pages. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm wondering maybe then if we should go ahead and start drafting, and then maybe as we're drafting, we might be thinking of other questions that come up.
Yeah.
Or maybe a question needs to be broken out into 2 questions or something like that. So maybe we could go ahead and,
Susan, can I suggest that maybe as we split these up, I would think that 3 and 4 are well suited for you to answer in particular, given your knowledge of some of these timelines.
is here.
3 especially. I mean, that number 3 especially, right? What's going to come on the agenda for the next 4 years? I think you have the best handle on that.
Yeah, I mean, those are the two big, over the next 4 years. I guess there'll be another contract in there.
Yeah.
I mean, a teacher's contract.
Yeah.
Contract. Okay, where are you? There we go. Something's a little pokey there. So that will be, this one goes to we're negotiating now to 2003 to 2006, or I'll have to
think
check.
it's 3
I'll check
to-
on that. I'll check on it.
Yeah.
Is it 2004 to 2007? I'm gonna just put here a placeholder while I.
I think it's 23 to 26.
Oops. I think that's right, but I'll confirm that. So the next one is gonna be then 2027. Right? So this one doesn't apply. The next
Yeah.
4 years, this is the one we're doing now. So the next one is gonna be 2027.
Yeah, the one we do now will take effect on July 1st of 22, right?
I think that's right. Why is this not working? Okay, so the renewal will happen 2027. That's within the next 4.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
I think it's 2025. It's a 3-year contract, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you think, yeah, I'll check this. Okay, all right. So this here, this business here, I'm wondering if I should work on this one, or whether you want to work on it.
Mike's got a couple,
Effort to
Mike's got a
try to
couple comments.
articulate it.
Mike's got a couple comments going in there on that one right now. I think that's great. I'll start from the bottom if you want. Well, the term of office and the seats that are open. I noticed that number 5 and number 11 are the same.
Let's, so what is the heading on this first group of questions?
The first group was voter
Voter
slides.
FAQs.
It was yeah, voter FAQs.
Oh, my. Okay. Oops. Why is that?
Thanks, Google. Give me 1 second.
Okay. All right, well, I'll work up here then. Let's see. So, let's see.
Is there an age requirement to run for one of the seats?
I was just wondering that, looking at that. I would imagine 18.
Yeah, I would
My
think
guess
so,
would
but
be-
I didn't confirm that. It's probably on the website somewhere, on the town clerk's website, but I don't know.
Certainly wouldn't be more or less. If there is one, it would definitely be 18, right? I mean, it wouldn't be anything else.
Gosh.
Okay, so I have here from the Massachusetts Candidate Guide a statement that you must be 18 years old, registered to vote in Massachusetts, and must fulfill the residence and signature requirements.
Good.
Put that in there, Mike.
They're registered to vote, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Does it say
interesting.
you have to be a resident of Massachusetts? Wait, you have to be a resident of the town, don't you? The town?
Yeah, you have to be registered to vote in the state, but you must also fulfill the residence and signature requirements, which in our case would be a resident of
I see.
Berlin Boylston.
when do you want to stop?
One second, let me get this. I want to finish this resident one here that I just grabbed. Done with the ones I was doing. I don't know if you guys are.
Yeah, let's see where we're at.
Sure.
Geez, I've got a fly in here. I can't believe it. Okay, you want to start at the top or do you want to start with one section?
Start at
Let's
the
start at
top.
the top.
All right. When was the last school committee election? When was that?
Nobody
2000
knows.
2000, is it 18?
I think it was
No.
18. Susan.
It's 2018. Let's put it in and then we can confirm this information. Oops.
Oh, it was interestingly, Susan, you were elected in
Yeah,
May
that's
of
what I was trying to-
19.
19?
May of 19.
Why does that not sound right? Oh, because I was probably appointed in 2018 or something, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 2020 was supposed to happen the following year. Okay. Committee formed formed after regionalization missed the deadline. The committee formed? What's that mean?
The committee that was formed after the regionalization, wasn't there a new committee once it was regionalized?
Oh, the committee
We could probably
formed after
I just
regionalization.
put, you know,
We could probably just say the B. Yeah. I might just say the committee, like,
committee?
because I don't know if we can clearly define the committee from 6 months ago as different from the committee today.
So how about the 2019 deadline? Because that's when it would have been, right?
No, it was 20.
Or
the
20,
deadline
it
was
would have been
2020.
2020,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. During, can we say here during?
Yeah, and I might go further and say, maybe explored
Yeah.
in a special election.
During 2020 and 21.
Yeah. During 2020 and 21.
Yeah.
I hate blaming COVID.
Yeah, we can remove that. That's fine.
But I would even say the process, the timing of that process was going to make it useless to hold an election to then seat people for 3 months and then
I wouldn't even put that in. We've covered that enough in meetings.
I think that's fine.
I don't know, I thought that part about the pandemic adding additional roadblocks is kind
Yeah.
of an important piece to have in there.
I might, Susan, I might refer to that earlier. The committee missed the 2020 deadline in early 2020 as the pandemic happened. I mean, the timeline was such that the filings that
I wouldn't put the pandemic in there because the pandemic's not what caused us to miss the deadline. I wouldn't even put it in.
No, I think the pandemic was related to the special election issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we had there, what you had there before was holding a special, but the COVID pandemic,
Made this more difficult.
yes,
Okay.
it definitely did in multiple ways.
Oops. Hold on.
Yeah, additional roadblocks is fine too.
If I could get it here.
Oops. Yeah. So maybe maybe an additional. Do we want to say an additional statement about the committee voted in
No. Just leave it there.
to pursue the regular election in November 2022.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. I'd leave that off.
All right.
I might add a comment to number 1 here though.
Yeah.
This will be the first regional election, period.
Okay. So we don't need A here. We'll just do the bring that out.
Yeah, Google does all kinds of funky stuff with that. There we go. I
Okay.
like that better.
What are we ready to move on? What business is likely to come before the committee? Okay, in 4 years. This should really be. The district school committee develop a new district improvement plan for the years 2023 to 28. This policy document. So I'm trying to explain why, what's significant about this. Policy document will set the vision and direction for the district and will guide the formation of annual goals and budgetary decisions.
Perfect.
Good.
A new superintendent contract will be negotiated, and I'll just have to confirm. I think you didn't you pull that off the actual contract,
Yeah, his actual contract goes through July 25.
or June, end of June, I think.
June, yes.
So this may be in conjunction with hiring the next superintendent or interim superintendent to lead the district. The superintendent is the only.
Maybe
I removed July.
I might
Just
say
'cause
the
you-
Sorry, Mike. I might say the current superintendent's contract expires in June of 2025. Because we might very well we're going to be negotiating that contract if Jeff chooses to have that be his last contract and chooses for that to be the date he retires or whatever. We're probably going to be negotiating the next contract with a new one while Jeff's still there, or there's an interim situation. Who knows?
So that changes this.
we want to assume when you say new that,
I would just say a new contract will be negotiated in 2025 and just leave it at that.
yeah, I think that's probably the best.
And
Yeah,
that covers a new one, existing one, an interim one.
yeah.
I like
think,
the first sentence and the last sentence, particularly Susan, right? The superintendent is the only employee hired and evaluated by the school committee.
Okay, so I don't remember what you said, Mike, so you can put that in.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. Yep.
So I'm just looking ahead
Just to clarify on the contracts with the, I'm sorry, I don't know if you move on to C yet.
well, I was just, what's, so that's a contract, but it doesn't state explicitly that one of the items of business coming before here is a superintendent search and hiring process.
But that process assumes that Jeff doesn't want to be renewed beyond 2025, correct?
Yes.
Because when his contract was signed in 2020, there was no search done.
In
Right, we
2020,
just-
there wasn't a search done? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When he was hired, there was a search.
In 2017, there was a search. His contract he's currently working under is from 2020 to 2025.
Okay.
So looks like he was originally on a 3-year contract, and then he was signed to a 5-year contract.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
but what I'm saying is up here on this question here, what businesses, one of the tasks that this committee is going to have, I mean, it's, you're sort of implying it, you're not stating it specifically. You're
If
saying.
you state it specifically, you're kind of pushing Jeff out the door before he's made his decision.
Yeah, but he's said that this is okay. He's expecting to retire. But so it's just a framing of the language. I think what I'm trying to say here is that this implies that a new contract implies, okay, then you're going to be hiring a new superintendent. But to me.
Or it's extending an existing one.
Excuse me?
Or extending the existing superintendent. And it implies both.
But what I'm saying is that I think it would be helpful to say more explicitly that some of the businesses coming before the committee is to that will come in the next 4 years will be the hiring of a new or interim superintendent. And I think that to me is more clear than renewing a contract, which is a task. It's a paperwork.
I just added a potential, I didn't change what you had there in B, Susan.
Yeah.
But highlighted something in C.
Yeah, that's short and sweet.
So I'm not sure.
Has Jeff announced to the world he's retiring for sure? Is he committed to that?
He has not committed. He has not said it to the world. I asked him.
Then I wouldn't put it in there.
I
Yeah.
asked him if I could
Respect his
say that. I
privacy.
asked him if I could say that at school committee, and he said yes. So that is saying that we're allowed to say that.
I still wouldn't steal his thunder.
Yeah, I think
I mean, he could change his mind. You never know.
either
would-
way,
I would-
in
I
either
would just say-
direction, right?
I like that. The business that's likely to come before the committee is, well, the contract's going to expire, so we're definitely going to have to deal with that, regardless of what happens. And saying that the superintendent is hired by the school committee, and that covers whether you hire the existing one back or hire a new one. covers that short and sweet.
So we're taking out B, is that correct?
Yeah, I like it better with the language I put there in C, which will then become B in a second if you delete it.
Yeah, I think the,
I think, because Jeff could go either way with that, right? He also has the option to contractually decide to retire sooner than 2025. Too, he could go until there's a public statement from him to some effect, which I don't expect to be soon because his contract goes through 2025.
okay, so can we make this just 2 sentences? I'm not sure why they're connected with an and. I don't see.
Yeah, that's
it.
fine.
Okay. All right, C. School committee will negotiate a contract renewal with Berlin Boylston Education Association 2027. I have to confirm.
I think it's 2025, Susan. It's every 3 years, right?
Yeah, this one goes to 2023, I thought. I don't know, I may be getting the numbers. So anyway, whatever we put in here, just it has to be confirmed. So
Yeah.
the contract defines. I'm just gonna put that there.
I might suggest the same structure to the beginning to that first sentence as what we have with the previous one. You know, the current contract with the BBEA will expire in whatever date. This,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say current though, because the current one will be before the election, won't it?
right. Are they always 3 years?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was framing it, like up here. I think I was attempting to put the school committee in the front of the statement. This is
Yeah.
what the school committee is going to be working on. That's why I put this here and probably had, you know, something different there. So it's just phraseology here, but
The rest of what you had there, I think in C is great.
go ahead and make whatever revisions, because I'm not sure what you're
I might have said this. The
proposing now.
school committee.
Okay, so this is gone, right?
This is a question I've had on that one. You say here that working conditions and salary compensation benefits for the teachers and nurses. Are there paraprofessionals not part of that? Do they have their own separate union?
I believe they are not part of that,
Okay.
but we can confirm that, but I don't believe I think they have their own
Okay.
whatever agreements. Or other staff. I'll check on that. Okay, let's keep going. Are you ready? Are you ready to go on? Number 4?
Yep.
This is the first election since regionalization. According to the committee members will function as one committee for all matters K through 12. Is that okay?
1 second, maybe the other ones. I might rather than saying K through 12, just saying, for all matters related to the regionalized district. Because we technically have oversight of the preschool program too, right? In B, I'm just going to change the word open to vacant, because what I use later on is what the regionalization agreement uses as the term.
Mhm. I actually think we should be saying some kind of grade span here, because if people are not clued in, who are, I just think the regionalized, we should define the regionalized district, but I'll ask if it's technically, we should technically say pre-K to 12.
I wonder what the
Was specified in the regional agreement to form a new committee that would have staggered 2 and 4 year terms. Is that okay?
Yeah.
First time both, oh, so I don't know if maybe I didn't do this. First time both towns are voting for all 6 seats. That's what we say up here. So maybe this is, maybe this sentence comes up or something up to this one.
yeah.
I have a couple things on that sentence. I'll change residents to voters, and is that
What's that?
just select candidates that represent both towns? I suppose that's true, but
It's totally true. That's
yeah,
what
I know it's true. It just
regional,
like in a vote,
that's
it
a
sounds,
mind shift for people that I think we have to get across.
yeah. Maybe I'd say from both towns to represent the district or something like that.
Yeah, but I think the other piece, I think that's good, but I think the piece that's missing is that committee members will represent both towns
Mhm.
rather than just one town. Committee members, yeah, 6 members.
I change voters to residents in that case. Looks good.
Okay.
I would just take, I would take this, Susan. I would leave this is the first time that both towns are voting for all 6 seats. And then I would maybe take this sentence and put it in place of this second sentence.
Okay. So do we want to leave this parenthetical in there, or it's not necessary, is it, or is it?
No, I don't think it is. I think you can take it out. Certainly wordy enough as it is.
Okay. So for 1 second, I just want to do a time check for a minute. It's 10:08. We go to 10:30, or just in front of 10:30. we need to set a next meeting time, and do we want to just work on this document, or do we also want to work? I'd kind of like to just keep going on this and
I
push
agree.
off the election strategies till the next meeting.
I agree with that.
Is that okay with you, Mike?
Keep working on this, yeah.
All right, so we'll just keep going, and we'll stop just in front of 10:30 and pick the next election, next committee meeting time.
Okay.
Okay, what seats are open up for election? All 6. I'm putting numbers into text because I'm
Yep,
just,
I didn't do both.
gosh, I get this fly. It's totally annoying me here. I can't believe there's a fly in November. Anyway, all 6 seats are up for election. There are 3.
So I'm gonna, excuse me, before you go on, I
Yeah.
might just strike this question in the answer because I've gone into a lot more detail in number 11.
It's a committee question. I mean, a candidate question.
I think it might be the same, it's the same question.
Okay, and so you feel this is all covered down below?
Yeah, I'd take that out because what you've said there, I've covered and probably covered
Yeah, I
in
didn't
too
write
much
that.
detail.
Yeah. Okay, okay.
Take that out.
That okay with you, Mike?
Yeah.
All right. Well, who votes in the election? Registered voters in Berlin and Boylston.
I would take B out because I think we've addressed it in number 4.
Yeah. Voters in Berlin, Boylston. Okay. Candidate FAQs. What is the role of school committee members? The school committee has oversight of and responsibility for the school system, sets the direction in which the system must go, and establishes criteria to determine if its goals and policies are being met. Superintendent serves as the school committee's chief executive officer and educational advisor. That's a funny word there.
It's according to the state.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's state language, Mike?
It's copy and pasted.
Huh. Really?
I guess I would, and I say something in, I'm not sure an educational advisor is so useful, but I would say something about is responsible for day-to-day operations and implementing the school committee's policies.
That's what the chief executive officer does, right?
Yeah. I'm looking
Yeah,
at
but I don't
B as it
know
relates
what
to this
people,
too.
people know that, that's the division.
So I would suggest that second sentence about the superintendent doesn't answer the question.
Yeah, I agree. So can we take that out? And I think there are some other pieces up here. There's no mention of budget, which is a core responsibility.
But there is in
It's
B.
in B.
Oh, I see. You've broken it. Okay.
I might say hires and evaluates the superintendent.
Yeah.
Mike, unless that oversee word is from.
That's
No, that's completely fine.
Okay. So I would say school committee hires and evaluates the superintendent, votes on the school
Approves.
budget, and has input on the district improvement plan.
I would say approves the school budget.
Yep.
That just sounds better. Also, I don't believe that the superintendent needs to be capitalized anywhere here.
Shouldn't we say vote instead of approve? Because that's what we actually do. I mean, the result is it probably gets approved, but the potential is there that it's not approved and they come back and make revisions.
Yeah, but eventually we're going to approve a budget, right?
Right, through the
40%
vote.
sets. Yeah. It's a funny one.
Maybe votes to approve, maybe. I don't know.
I like that.
So you, up in the first one, you mention its goals and policies, but, so this is redundant here, establishes criteria is, you basically have this here,
Sure.
criteria to determine
Yep.
if goals and policies are being met, so that's said twice. And I am, again, the, hang on for a second. So this, it refers to its policies, but, okay, rights and sets policy. All right, that's fine. And so rights and sets policy. So that seems fine. What's not here is mention of serving as a community, the community outreach piece, the community communications, and a link between the community and the schools.
It's a good point. Might want something in there about, represents the residents of the towns
Or
and,
the community's interests to the school district, and advocates for school district initiatives in the community, something like that.
yeah.
Are you doing that one, Mike, or?
Oh, no, I thought you were putting something in.
Oh.
What would you like me to put in?
Oh, sorry.
What else did you say there?
Well, I guess I'd probably say something like, well, serves as a link between the community and the schools. I'd probably start with that.
All right, sure.
Bringing a community's interests and concerns to the district, and advocating for the district's priorities to the community. Something like that. Just maybe the word by bringing the, could this work, Mike, to change while to buy? That okay?
Yep.
All right, how and when and where do I collect signatures? Candidates will be able to take out nomination papers from the district clerk or the town clerk in either Boylston or Berlin in April 2022. They actually, beginning in April 2022, it's actually a range of time when they could take out those nomination papers.
Is it correct that we don't know that specific date yet?
That's correct.
Okay.
Late April to late July is when they can take out nomination papers. Yeah, you have it. Must return by July. That's fine. Must return to the town clerks. or district clerk. Oh, no, it
See,
has to
the
go to the
district
town clerk.
clerk
No, that,
can't-
you're
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the town clerk. Isn't-
Might actually make that separate. There's a separate answer there. Because of that.
Also, it's, they have to return those to Berlin and or Boylston and or Berlin. Not either. All right, so that comes out. So can we just say by July? Oh, I see what you're saying. By a specific, by a deadline in July.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Are you taking out the ABCs, or is that just a thing? That's
I think it's just a formatting thing as I was going
Okay.
through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
After taking papers out from either town clerk, either or both town clerks, either town clerk,
I would just say this.
taking out nomination papers. Yeah. Potential candidates can collect signatures from the registered voters in either or both towns in Boylston and or, yeah.
Are they candidates before they have their signatures certified?
Signature
know.
seekers.
That's why I put potential in there.
Yeah.
No, it does seem like if you're collecting signatures, yeah, I don't know.
So
Candidates,
you can collect signatures, but if they don't get certified, you're not on the
yeah,
ballot.
right, they're
Yeah.
not on the ballot, right. Signatures from the respective towns and separate town election papers, yeah. Collect signatures, yeah, it's really collecting signatures. On
The respective town. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
potential candidates must collect. This is such a finicky thing to convey. Mhm.
What papers is the right word?
Nomination forms.
Take this out. Might take this out too.
Yeah, you see C, we don't need C.
See back in here. Do that for me. Try this. Oh, Google. There we go.
I feel like this Did you mean to have this inset or is this is this D?
Um, either way,
Okay, let's
I think
put it
I think D is fine.
I feel like this still needs a little reorganizing or something there. I think the ideas are there, but I don't think it's flows right. But in the interest of time, I'm wondering, let's make a plan, because it would be good to get this to the committee. So let's think about whether we want to, like, one person just work on this one more pass, and we want to have a brief meeting before the week is over to just finish this, or
I don't have time this week for another meeting, Susan.
Yeah,
yeah,
think we
I
could
don't
probably
really
just-
either. I'm trying to think about how to
let me ask you guys this. So I'm happy to continue wordsmithing this and then bring it to the committee on Tuesday with this further read out. I think
Okay.
we're identifying that D here needs some reorganization.
yeah.
We're looking at number 8. I'm trying to be pretty,
This one just doesn't address the question of how much time. It says
yes,
what they spend their time on, but it should be some kind of, foot, like how long these meetings are, and tasks between the meetings.
and the frequency of the meetings,
Yeah.
right?
So adding in something like, meetings are typically around 2 to 3 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And this L9 eligibility came right off of the state's information, right?
All right,
Yeah.
I gotta jump off.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
What seats
Yeah.
are open? All 6 seats will be considered vacant as follows.
That makes sense to
2
you, Susan.
Boylston vacancies for a 4-year term, 1 for 2, 1 Berlin vacancy. So this is 1 Berlin vacancy.
Yep.
For a 4-year term. 2 Berlin vacancies for a 2-year term. Just cross-check these dates, just make sure we get them right, right?
Yeah.
That looks right, okay. I think one question, I think some people are going to ask, I don't know if we want to put it on here, but I think people will ask, are any of the members of the current committee rerunning, running for this election? And I think we can just say, yes, we anticipate.
Yeah, I mean, I've been asked that question and my answer's been, I don't know yet. Just by members of the public.
Yeah, because as soon as but that's personal, right? Because as soon as
Right.
you say that, but if you say it globally for the committee, we can say we anticipate, some members of the committee may run for
Interesting.
re-election.
It's interesting, the wording in the district document says it in a way that indicates that there really aren't any incumbents almost. It says that all 6 positions are considered vacant. And maybe that's whether there's an incumbent or not in any election. This is the terminology they use, but it was notable to me the way the agreement stated this, that
Okay,
at the first election, all seats are vacant.
okay, so then I think we should clarify then that this is considered, I guess it's not really, the way they're saying that is this is considered like a brand new committee. It's not really, because we're currently the regional committee, and
It's
this
funny
is
though, right?
also the regional committee.
The terminology in the document says that at the first election, all seats on the transition committee shall be considered vacant.
Right,
It
that's
doesn't even-
because that's how the regional agreement was set up in relation to the election that we missed.
Right.
But somewhere we were a transitional committee and we are currently the regional committee. I've been asked about this with Christy, and there was at some point, and I can't remember how. And so the language was written originally to convey a brand new committee, but we've already become that committee. So it's sort of weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what you're saying is basically nobody's running for re-election. They're all running for election.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know whether I went into too much detail, Susan, on the final page that flows onto. Tell me what you think.
Hang on, I just want to think about this again. Each position on the ballot at subsequent biennial elections will be for, 4-year term. And 3 seats will be considered vacant at each biennial election. Yeah. That's almost like, yeah, that's really important. Just want to figure out how to elevate this idea that for this election only, all 6 seats will be considered vacant.
Yeah.
And I wonder, we could put that at the front of that.
Yeah. First. Only time. This would be the only time. How about that?
For this election only, I think we could say. Yeah, yes, okay, that flows better. Okay. To further clarify, at the 2024 biennial election, the 3 2-year seats elected in 2022 will be considered vacant, and those 3. Yeah, that sounds more confusing. The only other way to probably make that clear would be to use a graphic.
Yeah. So let's take that out then.
But I think this is pretty clear up here now.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you look at this and if you're a candidate, right, and you're saying, okay, there's 6 vacancies, and I can pick. If I'm in Boylston, I can pick one of these 2 or this one, and I clearly can see here what my term would then be.
Yes.
And if I continue to read here, 3 seats will be, each position on the ballot at subsequent elections will be for a 4-year term. So I know if I take this seat, I'm up for re-election in 2024.
Yeah, I think
through
that's
2028. Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think another question for the voters up above that I had at one point, and I don't know the phrasing of it particularly, but like, what will this ballot look like?
Yeah,
Because,
it's interesting.
I did ask the town clerk in Mount Greylock this question, and she sent me, or the district clerk, and she sent me. She didn't send me a copy of the ballot, but she sent me a response so I could put that in there. But basically what you're going to see is something like those 4 bullets. There's going to be, it will say vote for 2. Like if you look at the top bullet, it will say vote for 2, and then
Yes.
it will for a 4-year term or something, and then there will be the list of candidates, and then it will say vote for 1, and there'll be a reference 2-year term, and it will be the list about candidates for that position. So I think a good question to have up there above is, what will the ballot look like? Because I think this is going to look different.
Because I'll have 4 different votes to make.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
I added a line here at the bottom, Susan,
Oh.
on number 10, just saying that candidates will need to choose which seat, 2-year or 4-year, they would like to run for when taking out their nomination papers.
Right. Yeah. So up above, I'm going to just put in a sort of a 6 for now. What will the ballot look like? Just put that there. My computer is not going fast. What will the ballot look like? So just as a placeholder, and then I can paste in the response from.
That'd be
the,
great. Perfect.
um,
I've got to jump now too. Did we set a next meeting date, Susan? You want to do that? And then we can
Yeah,
see if it works with Mike.
yeah. So the next school committee meeting's not until December
The 9th.
14th.
Well, we have one on the 9th, right?
Yeah, yes, but we're not trying to have another meeting before the 9th, are we? Or are we?
No.
No,
I
okay.
don't think so.
So December. I'd aim for early December. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess let's see here.
Maybe what's today? Today is Wednesday.
Yeah, so we can put these FAQs up for a first read.
Yeah.
On the 9th, right? Next week, as long as they're in the folder, whatever's in the folder by Friday. And then the next meeting you said is what, December 7th?
14th.
Yeah, I would say let's go to that week of the 6th of December.
Okay, all right, let's
Wide
go.
open for me. And if this time seemed to work for Mike, I would assume, barring some kind of conflict, we could maybe do Wednesday. Actually, I'd tell you what, I'd rather not do it on Wednesdays. Thursday, either Tuesday the 7th or Thursday the 9th, maybe Tuesday the 7th, so we have a couple extra days to get the information in. Yeah.
The only thing is that Mike and I both have a policy subcommittee that day already, and I have other planning meetings, so maybe
I could do the 6th
Monday?
too.
Yeah, how about
That's fine.
Monday? I'm not free until 10. So
Tell
maybe
you what,
Monday,
Susan, yeah, that's fine. 10's fine.
December 6th, 10. I can
Yeah,
go
that's fine
later.
for me. No, that's fine. See if
So
that works
would
for
be
Mike.
one. Let's
That is-
let's pick a backup time just in case that doesn't work. Or are there other times on Monday that you could do it? Is there
The
flexibility?
6th is wide open. That whole week is wide open for me.
Wide open. All right,
Yeah.
so hopefully we'll get some time on the 6th, and I'll check with Mike about
Yep.
that.
And then
All right,
just,
and the agenda then is to work on the strategy portion of this, right?
yeah, and the communication piece.
Yeah.
Unrelatedly, off agenda, just know I have a, I'm gonna
Okay,
have to
hang
go
on
to
for
Pitt.
1 second. I'm going to interrupt you because we're recording this meeting.
Okay.
So should we adjourn this meeting first and then
Sure,
follow up? Okay.
this is quick.
Um,
It's fine.